What's up, Rockstars? Today I finally have Twisted Fables. It has been long coming. I really enjoyed the preview of this, the prototype I got. I'm so excited to see everything they have. I'm really stoked for this. Let's dive in right now. Now, normally I thank my patrons at the start of this video, but I'm actually going to pause a little bit to say that don't worry, I got my pointer stick. My wife found it, she lost it, but it's now found. You guys are in for a good unboxing. I got my royal rod, the king's scepter, the rod of truth. I don't know what I'm saying there. Guys, listen, you guys know the deal. My patrons are the cornerstone of this channel, bar none. And it is through their financial support that this channel is what it is. So if you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy everything I'm able to show you, if you enjoy my critique on the industry, the reviews, the unboxings, the talking points, all that kind of stuff, even $1 a month helps greatly. It really does. And there's a link down below to that in the description. Thank you so much. Otherwise, let's go and dive right in. That's fine too. Don't have to. Okay, this is smart. I was wondering how they would do this because I've always felt this way. Oftentimes, these come in like a separate tube, which makes sense. They're quite large. But for card games, where they're typically not so large, I think it makes sense to essentially make it add a little bit of padding, right? In fact, I wouldn't have been butthurt if instead of rolled, it was just kind of like draped over the box even. That would have been okay with me too. But I do really dig that. So there's 4 here. We're going to take a look at them. I do the top-down, really high quality, really up close look at everything. So we'll see all the cards, we'll see all the tokens, we'll see all of the minis and all that kind of stuff. For the Neoprene Mat, unless there's something I need to show, I'm going to show it here in this screen, in this camera view, just so you guys can see that. All right, so we got all 4 of those. We have the deluxe. Oh, this is much bigger. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Much bigger than I thought for a little card game. Okay. Whew. And there you have it. This is the kind I didn't notice, or I didn't have before. This is the kind of the normal side as far as I'm concerned, from what I've been looking at for a while. And then tucked in here, we have some sleeves. Now, I enjoyed the prototype so much. I actually sleeved the prototype cards. I kid you not, I did that. So I was ready to unsleeve it all and do all that. But I think these will probably be a little bit higher quality. I used some, I think it's some Mayfair ones or something like that. Just whatever I had on hand to get it done. But I was enjoying it enough to where I did that. Now, we're going to look at the... Get this out of the way. We are going to look at these. But I wanted to say something while I kind of get situated here. So, my daughter, she used to be part of these unboxings a while back, if you recall. But with my work schedule and her having more homework, she's in middle school now, and all that kind of stuff, it just doesn't work out typically. And typically I record late at night like it is right now. So my kids are asleep instead of being loud or right outside that door. But she always asks, oh, what game did you get? What game did you get? Because she's a huge gamer. She loves it. She still does. And I told her I got Twisted Fables. She wanted to play it right then and there. And she has asked every single day. I've had this for 2 days now. And both days she's like, can we play Twisted Fables? I haven't unboxed it yet. I'm sorry. I worked really late yesterday. Like past midnight. It was bad. But like she has been pumped to play it again. So it's been pretty cool to find something that we enjoy to play together. And hopefully you can get some good game time in on this too. Alright, so right off the bat, it smells like fish food. So we got that fish food smell. I don't know why they sometimes smell like this. I believe the Rising Sun mat did as well. But yeah, it smells like fish food, like little fish flakes, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, as you can see, I think it turned out great. This is not even the most colorful one, but the contrast is actually really good and doesn't seem too dark as far as I could tell. So I'm really happy about that. There's like these lines here, but I think that's part of the art. So that's in general, I think it's really good. The Twisted Fable comes out well. Looks like it has the card spots everywhere, which is nice as well to kind of keep it organized. And it is stitched, but the stitching isn't just black. If you notice, the stitching has the actual image on it. Super cool. I really, really do that. So it looks nice and clean, but it's still stitched. You guys know me, and I always say this, and I stand by it. I will never pay for a neoprene mat that's not stitched. And I've told other developers this as well. For instance, I told Mythic Games when they didn't do it once, and they were like, okay, well, we'll make sure they'll do that. It doesn't cost a lot more, at least for the consumers, which at the end of the day, that's pretty much what I care about. I don't know how much it costs for the devs, but it's not that much different on our end, typically. And so if I'm going to be spending that money, I may as well get a nice one that doesn't fray if I use it a lot. And I'm going to use these a lot. This is the colorful one. Look how bright that is. That is actually really good. A lot of times these can be really dark. So I'm always kind of concerned about that. But this turned out really, really nice. Nice crisp lines, good saturation of color, nice and bright. Really dig that one. All right. Got two more. And we'll swap to the top down. We're going to look at all the goodies inside that big old box. All the minis. I'll let you guys know what I think of the minis. I've heard mixed things about them. I'll be the judge of that, I suppose. All right, and then here is one of the new characters that I didn't have. This one probably won't see playtime with my daughter, of course, but there's that. Again, very purple. And actually, I really like, I'm trying to think, it looks like all of them pretty much show the whole character, which is kind of cool too. It's not like a really close-up view or anything like that, which I dig. All right, last one here. All right, and then we got this one as well. That's a cool one. I hadn't really seen that one too much. Really dig the Cheshire Cat in the background there. That's super cool as well. And a much different one, but again, you see quite a bit of the person. I think that's also quite nice. So, whew, there's those. They're actually quite thick. They got a nice textured like back to them, so they'll grip the table real nice. Really excited to use those. It'll organize a little bit because you do have quite a few decks going around, and I think those will be actually super helpful. You should at least grab two if you're going to enjoy the game a lot. Just makes it feel nice, and it's always good to play cards on a mat like that. There's not one for the... no, there is one in the Deluxe for, I think, the actual Middle Ground, so we'll look at that too right now. All right, let's dive right in. Now, this is something you have already seen, so let's go and flip it over, and we'll open it up, maybe upside down. I don't actually know what the back of this thing is. You can display it either way. We're just going to go, I hear stuff moving around. Hopefully it's not ruining too much. I like the kind of the blue-pink alternative there, and really excited for this character for sure. Definitely think that's super cool. Let's go ahead and dive in. It looks like this is actually the back. So, just looking from the how the box is. So I'm opening it upside down here, but that's okay. This is easy to open this way anyway. So that's exactly what I'll do. Try not to cut anything, including myself. Ideally, not myself. If there's one thing I could pick, it would not be cutting myself. That is the idea of this. You guys don't want to see an unboxing of me. You guys want to see an unboxing of the game. If you haven't already seen it, I'm getting this so late, oh my gosh. But that is alright. Okay, come on. Alright, let's see, we're going to have to lift it up here, and boom. Now, right off the bat, it doesn't look like it's opening up. So, you know, sometimes when you open them vertically, you get that kind of, you know, drop out. There's a tiny bit, but not actually too much. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I dig that. That's awesome. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got here. I'm excited. Tight fit, but it opens good. Here you can see 14 plus 2 to 4. That's generally the thing, just so they don't have to regulate ages and stuff like that when it comes to small parts. 2 to 4 players, 30 to 60 minutes. That's about right. I don't know if I've ever had one last actually 60 minutes. That'd be kind of a long one. Maybe 2 healers going at it or something like that. Overall, pretty good box. A little kind of scuff mark, a little bit like here and stuff like that, but overall quite good. I like how small Dimension Games, this is no offense to Dimension Games, I like that the art is really on display here. This is a box that has a big old like logo, but I still kind of dig that. Inside here we got a fairly clean box, nice, just a little bit of flex, and it looks like a perfect glue job all around, so really happy about that. Not really seeing any kind of issues whatsoever. Looks nice to me. All right, now the art of Twisted Fable right on top. It's got a nice Actually move this out of the way a little bit. It's got a nice kind of, actual spine here that I think is good. And it is full art, though. You don't want to open it all the way, I imagine. And let's take a look here. The art, by the way, is always fantastic. Looks like they have it grouped by character. So that's cool. I dig that. That's freaking hardcore is what that is. Like, that's not what you would expect from Red Riding Hood. I dig it. Oh my gosh. Treasury unlocked, and then a little bit about them. Really dig that. There's a little bit of this actually in the prequel too, and I like that they added I like that they actually have a name for each of them from the different cards and stuff. That's cool. But they actually had a little bit of lore in the actual book that I had. You can go and check that a prototype unboxing if you want. I'll go ahead and put it down below along with the review, but I'll do a final review too. Man, some of this stuff is just hardcore. Really, really dig this. Now, I'm not going to show everything. Mulan is a great character. This like kind of whip thing that she has where she can like just this right here can move people around is super cool. I really dig that. Kyuuya is good as well. Maybe I will just show everything. I don't know, but they're super cool. They really are. Really impressive. Look at the Kraken thing. Match Girl. My daughter's gonna be excited for the new characters for sure. Dorothy. It's getting hard to flip. Man, look at those freaking claws. Hardcore. Oh, skipped one. Can't do that now. All right, there you are. Man, a lot of like robot people I'm noticing. That's what I'm seeing. Oh my gosh, it's hard to flip. All right, it's just gonna fall. That's all right. Oh man, she's like jacked into the Matrix or something. All right, and that's it. That's all there is. So a little bit of text, mostly art, definitely art on display there. I would have liked maybe a little bit more writing, but overall, quite nice. I am happy with that. Really big art, which is great as well. A lot of times you get a lot of negative space in those, and I feel like they didn't need to be that big. Speaking of not needing to be very big, here is the rules of play, and this is for several different play modes, and this is it. So that should be nice. Now, no reference on the back. See if they have an index. I'm not seeing an index, so it's too bad they went through all this trouble and they didn't make it useful. So the quick reference is not on the back, it's on like the inside back. This actually would have been helpful here. I don't need this on the back, and it's nice to lay it down and instead of having to flip it open and take more table space now just to kind of do the quick reference. There might be cards, I don't know, but ideally here is where the index would be, where I'm actually, okay, I need to go look something up. That's what that's for. And see, this is exactly what they had in the in the version I had, though not all the characters, obviously. But so a little bit. This is kind of nice advantages, disadvantages, and tips. That's super helpful for early. So I really like that. Looks like they got a lot of diagrams and call-out boxes and all that, which is really nice. Really appreciative of that. Some examples of the cards. There's some minis. We'll look at those in just a little bit here. Some of the tokens and whatnot. And really, that's it. There's not a whole lot there. There's a key topics here that looks like it is in alphabetical order. So it's close to an index. So I'm not seeing any multiple page lists. Now it could, oh wait, right here, basic cards 8, 11, 12. So this is the index. They're calling it key topics and putting it in the front instead of the back. That threw me off. But you get the pass. Good job. That's exactly what I need. So it's when you first open the page, instead of on the back, it's in the front, but that's okay. And literally, it's alphabetical and lists every page something's mentioned on. So if you want to learn about basic cards, well, you can actually read 8, 11, and 12. So you don't just go to 8 and then, oh, okay, I think I've read it all. And no, actually 11 and 12 might have more information that you need. It's alphabetical instead of matching the headers, which is also helpful. And it's about the key topics versus just whatever your headers are. So very useful. It gets a pass. It's got an index. It's got examples. It's got a quick reference guide. It has like a kind of a turn sequence actions, common things like that. Some tips and tricks even to get you started. This looks pretty solid. I'm happy with this so far. I'll let you know in the review how it ends up being, but so far, so good. Let's keep going in. I can already tell you I like the black. You guys know I do. It also has a lid, which I appreciate as well. So this is turning out good and good and good. Let's keep going. So far, passing. And I am happy with that. I very much am. All right. Let's see here. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Snow White, get back in your spot, you silly goose. Oh my goodness. All right. So these are your standees, if you're going to do standees. The one interesting thing is her, because Sleeping Beauty has... And you know what? Let's go in and zoom in. Looks like it's probably about time to do that. There we go. That's maybe too close. I'm going to go a little bit farther out. Make sure I stay in frame. There you guys go. All right, so anyway, she has a transform ability, and this is one of the things where I don't know if there's too many, so I'll take a look. I don't remember. Hopefully there are, because one of the issues with this is when I played her, you can play, by the way, and try and stay transformed. Very interesting to play that way. It's a very cool build. Anyway, one of you is looking at the wrong version at all times, right? Because, you know, you're normally sitting opposed of each other, and so it's like, oh, I'm seeing her, but I always showed my opponent who I was, so I'd flip it. So I would always see the wrong version of me. That's how I played it. But that's one of the issues with the token, without it being two separate ones, right? If they had just done two different ones, you could swap them in and out, and that would have solved that. But otherwise, they should all be the same on both sides. So that's that. Here's a few little trackers, different characters. Those are really tight in there. Wow, my goodness. I'll take some out, see if there's any tags. We'll have different tokens like this that they'll be able to spend, or as a cost to something, or whatever. It can buff something, or you know, whatever it might be. There's a few of those. Let's see, tag wise, there is definitely tags. You can see it here, and then in here. Here's kind of interesting because the cut is actually a little off. I'm seeing that in both. So if you see, it kind of goes down, and then it goes like this, and then straight down again. So there's like this odd kind of lip here. That's unfortunate. It is kind of a complex shape, but I mean, honestly, they normally do this pretty well. So that's kind of unfortunate to see. Let me do a few more and see if they're all like that. But I suspect they are, and I bet that's what it's really hanging up on, is the kind of the overcut. Well, no, because this one looks fine. So I take back what I said. Looks like that was just a bad cut. It's close, actually. You can see right here again, it kind of, this side goes in a little too much. So you see that little, let me get real close here for you. There you go. Do you see what I'm looking at right there? So right here, this cut goes in, and then there's a little bit of a lip, and then it comes out again. You see that? So this didn't turn in enough, or this went too far down. That's what I'm seeing, I think, on just about all of them. Let me see. Let's take a look here. We're going to investigate. This is now a crime scene, and we need to see right here. Every one is like that. Yep, so the overcut right there. There, you can really see it there. Hopefully you can really see it. Yeah, you guys can see it. I should know. Thank you, patrons, for the great camera, so you guys can see me obsess over the cut on a token that doesn't matter. It's the little things. I really like, by the way, the texture. It feels nice, so that's cool. It's on both sides. But yeah, no, I'm going to notice it all the time now. I'm going to check my prototype ones and see if maybe they don't have that. You can actually see it starting, you see how that lifted up a little bit too? Because when you like yank it out, it kind of separates it a little bit. So you can see the layers where these were smushed down, which by the way, they do not have a big sponginess. They're actually quite hard. So that is nice. I'll just have to be careful taking this out. If you haven't gotten yours yet, or you haven't opened it up, just be careful of these. In fact, let me try pushing the other way. God, they're just going to fall out. And see if maybe that's any better. Just want to be kind of careful around. It's split either way. As you can see there, a little flare up again right there. I don't know what other unboxer is going to show you a token like this. You guys are probably bored out of your mind. But hey, you clicked the video. You should have known better. If not, welcome to the channel. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, and so that's what you get if you don't get the expansion characters. Here are the 4 expansion characters, and then their tokens. So it looks like each... no, one of them doesn't. So there are 3 kinds of tokens and 4 characters. So one of these characters does not have a token. I'm not seeing any other transforms. So they stay the same by the looks of it. Okay, so I'll move that along. Oh, some of these tokens came out fine, by the way. Like, they're okay. Oh, gosh. Are they? Hold on. Yeah, these are... I don't know what they did. My goodness, look at this. So again, do you see that kind of in there like that? Do you see that kind of like... almost like a tear? I don't know. I'm not happy with the perforation on this. They need to calm down on that. My poor tokens. Okay. Moving on over. Let's get here. Okay, so... I kind of wish this was like this now. I wonder if, but then they would be sideways. Ah, okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. She's facing backwards. Oh wait, I'll show you. There, she's like, I'm shy. And then down here, okay, let's actually look down here. First of all, look at the minis at the very end. So I'll probably change the camera angle on that. Here's that neoprene mat for the deluxe edition I was talking about. You zoom out a little bit so you can see that. I can always zoom back in. There you go. There's the whole shebang, whatever the heck that means. I want to pull everything out, just to make sure there's nothing on the bottom, and so you guys can just kind of see where everything is at when it comes to thickness. So there's everything. There's nothing on the bottom, and there's good support. I'm going to flip this over. On the bottom, it goes all the way to the bottom. There's no, like, real big overhang there or anything like that. I love getting a game in one box. That's freaking sweet. I really did that. Let's go and take the lid off. The lid doesn't have any locking, but it fits pretty snug on there, which is nice, and I'm not too concerned about that. But a lot of times there's notches on the side that'll dig into there to kind of lock it on, and I don't see that in either one, so just as an FYI on that. Let's look at this neoprene mat. Now I'm curious, and I don't know if I got a cardboard version of it or not. I'd be interested to see if I have to use this. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't, but you never know. I do like the thickness of this, by the way. Like, the neoprene mat is maybe even a smidge too thick. And what I mean by that is it does add a little bit of weight and a little bit of heft to it. And sometimes I like it a little bit thinner. But otherwise, I think it's pretty good. And I must say, this looks quite nice. So I'm going to roll it inverse to get rid of this little kind of flare up on the side. You can kind of see that when they do turn it or curl it like that, it does tend to keep the shape for a little bit. You can lay something flat on there too, but this looks nice. So this plus your mat going right up to the edge there. You got the spots for your characters. You got the relics you can put here. Super excited for that. That's cool. This is the 2 versus 2 where you have the 2 different lanes. You can do that. Otherwise, you're right there in the middle. Awesome. Really dig that. This is going to be cool. You can see where the deck would go as well, I think. So quite nice. And again, the back, super nice. As you can see, it just wants to roll. So I will roll it the other way. We'll put it back. Bear with me one moment. And it does smell like fish food. I'm just going to wonder what the heck I was unboxing with all the fish. I think some of these characters might be to blame. I'll let you guess on which ones those are. Alright. Okay. There's that. It's got a nice little hole in there. I might have not... see, so this is one of the problems. I didn't do it tight enough, essentially. So, in other words, it just needs to be a little bit tighter like that. Oh, by the way, you can see where the... this is... Oh, actually, yeah, this is probably worth noting. This is also, while it's quite black, you can see is still the printed thread as well. And then it meets right here, and it looks like it's actually hidden pretty well. On the back is actually more noticeable than on the front. So that's nice too. Okay, let's try this again. This is, I guess, one of a little bit of bummers. It almost would have been nice to have it a little bit more spacious there. But I'm going to try and do it a little bit tighter there. That tightness in the roll will actually kind of help cause that too. So that's, I wonder how tight this is and if I could maybe just loosely fold it in half. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's much tighter now, so that should, I think, yes. Okay, perfect. There it is. Okay. Again, it's been so long. Look at that. I spent all that time. Let's zoom in. I spent all that time griping about the tokens. And I got these bad boys. Look at that. Man, these are cool. These are the standee stands. We can throw those in the garbage. I'm kidding. I'm not going to throw them in the garbage, but I'm also not going to use them. So there's that. Okay, let's take a look at these. I can see right now that they sound really nice. Okay, so as you can see, these are cut perfectly, of course, right? They are actually quite smooth. There's a little bit of, where it came off the sprue. That's how plastics work. Okay, they always have a runner. But it's like I can't even feel it. Like if I was blind, I'd just assume it was smooth. You can see the line more than feel it. If you run your hand that way, I can kind of feel it. If I run it that way, I can't really feel it at all. Print-wise, it looks pretty good. There's some scuffs right there you can kind of see. And maybe even a little bit right there. So, oh, that's just dirt from my fingers or something. I don't know. Either way, I think they look great. The coloration's good. They are quite reflective, but I can still see it in the reflection. Let's take a look at a few others just to kind of tell. I will say right now, I do wish these were a little bit more different in color. I can tell this is orange, and this is yellow, but I wish the orange was perhaps a bit closer to red and less to yellow. Looking at the yellow, because yellow is hard for coverage, and this is black, there is a little bit of black I can see there, especially here, where it almost needed like another coat or something like that. But otherwise, I'm actually quite impressed with these. Again, they feel great. I think they look nice. Kind of a good size. The thickness is just right where I can pick them up quite easily. So I really appreciate that. This blue came out fantastic, I think. See, I love the flip too. Though I don't think that's a great red. In fact, you can actually kind of see through that a little bit. Can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see that. Do you see? That's a little see-through. Are the others like that? Did I just not notice that? Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Slightly see-through. Well, cool. Whatever. And this is for all characters, too. So, I'm assuming this is mermaid there. Okay, well, these are nice. I dig it. I dig it. Now watch me struggle to pick them up. Oh, they're easy to pick up. Oh, yeah? No, they're actually not too bad. I'm going to make a mess of things, what I'm going to do. Really, my unboxings are just you guys watching me struggle for 50 minutes. Again, welcome to the channel. Watch me struggle, and I record while I do it. And it's not even just the unboxings. Nah, I think I'm okay. I'm alright. Don't be so negative. Actually, looking at this is... You can see a lot more black there than you can here. Like, that is like night and day difference. My goodness. And they're all like that. Look at this. See the flip side. Yeah. These are way better. Never mind. I take everything negative I said back. I haven't really been too negative yet. I got a little honorary with the rule book. I'm sorry. I get a little emotional. Alright. These are your pegs. I'm not going to take them out. I'm just going to show you the little symbols. There's going to be 2 symbols on here, or 3, just depending on kind of what you're looking at here. But here's health. Here's an armor. Here's like whatever that symbol is, whatever that symbol is. So they'll have different ones depending, but it's all color based. You put those pegs in the player boards. I might take it out and show you guys. I'm not going to unbox every card. I'll unbox the different sized cards and we'll go from there. So here's kind of the player cards. We'll look at that. And we'll look at something cool, not plane attacks. Let's look at maybe some of the, are these the, I wonder if they're deck based or not. I want to show some of the different cards. Oh, look at that holograph there. Ooh, I'm excited. Good foil. I want to show some of the expansion characters. So let's take a look there. Okay, there's Dorothy. And then normal people. Kind of randomly placed as far as I can tell. And then some small relic cards. Okay. Okay, let's look at the player characters first. And then, don't worry, we will look at the minis next, right after these. Don't worry your pretty little head. Or any head, even if you're not that pretty, don't worry it. This is a no judgment zone. We welcome ugly people here, all the same. Doesn't make you beautiful, but I'm sure you have a great personality. Like, I'm one to judge. Okay, these are like stuck together almost. Okay, so take Red Riding Hood. Front and back the same. Very thin. I'll tell you that much right now. Like, very thin. Like, this feels like I could fold it into a paper airplane. like I don't even want to bend it. This is not the best core in a card that I've seen. That being said, I don't think you're messing with this one at all. Let me see if Sleeping Beauty changes on the back or not. She does not. So she's the same. So there's Alice. There's Sniper, because why not? Then Mulan, Kaguya, Little Mermaid, Match Girl, Dorothy, and whatever. I can never say her name, so I'm not even going to try. Shirazade. Of course. Yeah, her. Hey, they had to dive deep sometimes to get to get some of these, apparently. But that's okay, because it's like an Egyptian one and she's still really cool. Okay, I need to get a new blade. That's what that is. You know which blade hurts you? The one that's dull because you're busy really trying to struggle with it. That's what it is. So then my safety blade is not safe. Okay, these are wrapped quite tight, and this is a pretty thick plastic too, as you can see. I mean, it's hefty. So I dig that. Okay, so again, these are really, really thin. Now, thankfully, they're not really doing any shuffling or anything here. These are the relics, and I do really, really dig them. I love the art. I love the abilities. Add a lot to it. It's a great game mode. If you're first starting out, just don't put them down there. And then once you're used to some of the characters, and you can add them there, works great. Definitely digging that. There's a Cheshire Cat. Okay, here's the special kind of cards that some people will have there. 3 of them: Mad Hatter, Cheshire Cat, and Queen of Hearts. And on the I think there should be another one, right? There's 2 versions of her, I thought. Maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe it's not here. I don't know. I could have sworn there were Queen of Hearts and then another mode for her. At least I know in this one there was 2 modes for her. So you can kind of swap between them. It's been a while. It's been a while. Okay, there's the relics. I'll put those back here. They should just fit right there. This lip, by the way, if I can get there, this lip does not go all the way down. So when I drop these in there, they're like how am I supposed to get them out? Like they're, first of all, it does look like it supports sleeves, so I do dig that. And maybe they plan more content that could fit in here. I don't know, but this should have gone all the way down. That's silly. Let me try. Okay. Okay, there's some. Putting it sideways. Let's see if that works better, maybe. Oh my gosh. Not ideal. Oh, they're starting now. I'm gonna have to turn it all upside down. That's what's gonna have to happen there. Ugh, what a mess. Okay, well that happened. Let's get back to the cards. Let's get to some of these new characters. And then we'll look at minis, and we will be done. We'll take a break. You guys can have some lunch or some dinner, some breakfast. I tend to judge my day and time periods based off when I eat, in case you hadn't noticed. So whatever your next meal is, enjoy it. Enjoy it for me. Okay, so on the back, by the way, they're all the same. They look pretty consistent in color and you know, the contrast. So that's good to see. Okay, so Dorothy has seen better days. That's what I'm saying there. A lot of people commented on how they use the same art. That's when you play the game, that's actually helpful. And I've kind of talked about this before. I appreciate having different art all the time, but I also appreciate these being the same, only with a difference in color, because that means something in this game and you can recognize it at a glance. If everything was different, even though this is really the same move, it has a different name and it'll be slightly different. It'll be improved somehow. For instance, this is range 1 damage 3 versus range 1 damage 1. And then it can also do different things in the bottom too for the next version as well. But the whole point is that when I see that, I know the kind of move it is, and I know the level it is at a glance, and I actually find that really helpful. So I know that's like half review there at this point, but that's really what that's all about, in my opinion. Very cool world that they've done, and I would love to see something beyond even this game in it. I think that'd be really, really cool. I think so anyway. I think it'd be really neat. Deleted existence. Yeah, there's very much a oh gosh, here's the special cards there. Not foil. Oh, maybe that foil was the kind of special for the deluxe edition. I can't remember. Either way, I think it's all really nice. And it looks like some nice separators here. So I appreciate that. In fact, I can probably, well, anyway, you would I think you'd put that there. There you go. See, and that's how you separate them. I dig it. Let me put those back there for now. Take a look at the other new ones a little bit, and then minis. Oh, I'll look for those foil cards too. Okay, it's important. Oh, open the cards, Michael. My goodness. Oh, dig the like background for that. That sounds super cool. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so see, Siren's Call, Siren's Shriek, and then I think there's a middle one, the blue one here, Siren's Song as well, that you also have. So that's cool. I really did. Oh man, ugh. Weird octopus things. Oh no, not that. And then the match. Oh, so then the 3 here is. It looks like you can like fully transform. It looks like you fully transform no matter what. Well, I don't know about that, but here's the match girl making a wish. I don't know if that's what you want to do with her. Okay, I was about to say she seems the most calm, but maybe not. She's got like a head on a platter there, so that's a thing. I mean, sure, yeah, let's do that. Why not? And then she turns like demon here, and then there's match. There should be 3 of these. It looks like they stored them perhaps in a kind of a weird order. There's full demon there, and so she's demon no matter what. And then these match cards probably do something as well. For instance, Poison Ivy has a poison thing that you can actually poison a people's deck, and it costs them to like get rid of it and stuff like that, which is kind of cool too. Yes, I think these are a special, perhaps foil ones. So let's take a look here. The minis, I promise. Come on. I hurt myself if this is going to happen. All right. Ah, yes. Look at that. That is fun indeed. Love it. So the foil here, the kind of digitalization is foiled, and then some of the other like After Effects and stuff like that are as well. Really, look at that back there. So cool. Love it. Oh man, these, I love, this is one thing I have found that, Clash of Rage did this too for their epic weapons. Their epic weapons were foiled. More board games, I feel, need to do some foil cards. I understand that they'll start to curl 50 years from now, whatever junk like that. Listen, first of all, I live in Idaho, so it's like not humid at all. So I got that going for me. And at the end of the day, I'm playing this now and I want to look freaking cool now, and I am fine having to deal with that at a later date, but for now these are super cool, and I want my epic items to be foiled because these are just neat. Or the epic loot gear, or these epic cards like this, like when you finally get to this point, just awesome. These look so cool. Oh my gosh, look at that one. Oh man, these are awesome. Really, oh yeah, see, super cool. I dig it. I hope that's showing up great on the camera, by the way. It's definitely cool in person. It's like, it's pretty subtle, and I appreciate that too. I love the lighting on this one. That's really cool. Very, very cool. All right, so there's all the foil cards. Love it. That's my favorite part so far. I dig that a lot. Okay. Now I know I said minis. When I said minis, I meant player trays. Focus. There we are. Hello, welcome back. Alright, let's see what we got here. This taped. Oh, it's taped. I hate tape. It is taped. Look at that. There are 2 lids. I think there are 2 lids. That's different. And only the bottom one is taped. Okay. I'm not sure they meant to do that. I'm kind of doubtful they meant to give me 2 lids. I'm going to assume I was only supposed to have 1. Oh, I put this on top of it. Okay, I was like, what the heck? Oh, I'm going insane. Okay, calm down, everyone. This happened to slot in there. Just happened to get that one. Okay, there we go. Ugh, I get off my fingers. Ugh, okay. Get rid of that lid. Don't put it on the other one. And we get some of the player trays. And the actual player cards here too, so we'll look at that. This comes in a little baggie, which is nice. The bag seems good. I don't see a hole at the bottom of it, but it's not full of air anyway. Just gonna take one out and take a look. I do still have tape on me. Get off me. Okay, so the pour spouts here and here. Kind of interesting that... is that bent? I'll have to check. Is this bent? If so, actually quite slightly. Ugh. All right. Anyway, I kind of interesting that they show white there. That's maybe unfortunate, but otherwise cool. I'm tempted, by the way, to paint this like the logo. I think that looks super cool if it was like white with pink and purple on around it and stuff like that. That'd be kind of neat, and paint this the color it should be too. So this would be like Alice's tray or something like that, but I don't think there's enough. There's only 4, so I'd have to kind of make a decision there if I did that, but maybe I won't. Because you could just prime, or like, you know, kind of spray color it, and then just paint the logo, and then these little things, and be good to go. So you could do it pretty quick. If you have your favorite character or something like that, you could totally do that. It looks like it may dip in the middle, perhaps, a little bit. But it's nothing noticeable when you actually place it down. There's a little bit of a... I mean, it's minor. Really minor. So I'm okay with this. This is nice. A good thickness. Which I appreciate. Actually, I'll leave this out. So I'll open this and put it in there, and you guys can see it. Oh gosh! Now, when they wrapped this tight, and they don't really have anywhere to really cut, I do always kind of worry because I don't want to cut. Oh gosh! Okay, I want to try. It looks like right here. There's some. Oh man. Okay. Ooh, that is close. And oh man, so I was hoping that would just catch. I don't think it's going to. Very gently. Very gently. This is like surgery. You guys ever play Operation? That's a board game. Dexterity board game. Oh man, I'm going to hear a buzz here soon. It's going to freak me out. Okay, we got it, guys. We're good. We're good. Okay, I don't think I'll need that again for this unboxing. Take a look-see here. Now, this feels quite different. It's very flexible. It feels very plasticky, if that makes sense. This is. I almost wish the cards were like this. Definitely, I would recommend sleeves for the cards because they are still quite thin. I'll go on and get those out. There's a little bit of give here, but otherwise it fits in quite well. What's nice about this is you're reminded of your kind of how to build your deck right here. So you grab this and you know exactly how to do it, which is nice. But then you also kind of know the order of things too, and you kind of can see, okay, this is this tree, this is this tree, and this is this tree. You can kind of view them as like skill trees, which is quite nice as well. So I dig that. And they have their own little spot down here, and as you can see, different backgrounds for each one. So that's cool. I dig that. I dig the whole matrix thing. Alright, so we're going to go in like that. This is going to go in. I'm not going to keep it in the bag. I never do. I'll keep this bag. I don't know. Are any of you guys like that? Let me know below in the comments. Do you guys keep baggies? I am like some kind of weird baggie horror, and where I just keep them all. I just can't get rid of them. I like collect them. I'm like, oh, that's a cool size. Yeah, I'll keep that one. Like it matters. Okay, let's look at minis. So we're going to zoom in here. Let's go on, and I'm just going to start at the top, and then we'll end at the bottom, because I think the last one looks cool anyway. So we're going to kind of go here. I'm going to move this. Okay, but we're going to zoom in anyway, because that's too far. You guys want it up close. Here we go. That looks pretty good right there, I think. Okay. So, let's see, this is Little Mermaid. I can see right away there's a mold line going up here, but then it kind of goes up the leg here and kind of down there. So that's good. I'm glad it's fairly out of the way. Like, it's right down the middle, which is kind of a bummer, but it's not like actually a crosser, if that makes sense. She actually has toes, which is nice to see, and like actually like a shape to the bottom of her foot even. She has like heels and stuff like that. That's really cool to see, actually. I really dig that. Her hair also is quite nice as well. There's a lot of, I think, cleanup. That the mold lines are not ideal at all. And the lines separating her leggings are a little shallow back here. Like here looks good, but then down here not. But I think they're supposed to be quite thin anyway. And so perhaps it's just that. The suction cups look cool. I really dig that. Her fingers are also quite separated, and they're a little webbed. I bet that's on purpose, so I'd have to check the art. But I bet they're supposed to be kind of webbed like that, so I think that works. She's kind of in the front of the base, which is kind of cool, and then going to the back. I do wish the bases were textured. I think it's just fairly standard nowadays, but that's okay. Very smooth. However, there's a little ding here, too, where the runner actually caused it to be a little malformed. Again, it's nothing like huge or major or anything, but definitely something to note. And then the back of this, I think, is also quite well done as well, too. So, for the most part, I would say it's actually nicely detailed, nicely sculpted, good assembly, and it just needs a lot more cleanup than I would like, at least on that one. We're going to keep going. Looks like I think Dorothy is next. If I can get her out. These are not snap-in, so I appreciate that. And in fact, one thing I'd like to point out is just, you hear how it's like not tearing, but it's also not super crinkly. When Kaman does their like, like clear ones, and you hear that stuff because it's like so freaking skinny and cheap. Really appreciate that it's not. Love the walking pose. I can tell you that much right now. This base turned out better too. The runner looks like it was right here and very minimal on that. Again, sculpted foot, which I appreciate. I love that her foot is almost like not quite flat. You see how there's a little bit of a crease there? I really dig that, actually. I think that looks great. Looks like she's kind of just stepping down as opposed to like completely flat-footed, which isn't very natural. The hair came out really nice, actually. I'm quite happy with the hair. Maybe a little bit more texture here, but otherwise pretty good. The shirt here has a clear line. The muscle definition looks good. The robotic parts look robotic. The hands, I do appreciate the different fingers. And hers are kind of all weird anyway. However, they're still a little struggling with that mold line. It might be kind of difficult to clean those up. Very minimal mold line, so all around. They're slightly prominent back here, but just a little bit. The kind of creases and stuff like that on the clothes makes sense. The tatters look good. Yeah, this one's nice. I like it. Looks like it turned out quite well. She's a little wobbly there. Now, this plastic doesn't seem like super, hard or anything like that. Sounds like she's going to break, but be careful with that one. That's definitely not ABS. That's all PVC. Okay, now we'll go to Kaguya. You can see a little bit of a lip right there that needs to be cleaned off. The texture on the leggings here, like on her armor, look really nice, and that looks great. Really happy with that. Even like the buckles here and stuff like that look nice. Very small scale and true scale, which means their fingers and heads and stuff like that are going to be smaller than like more accurate to the detail, of course. But I love the little kind of cloak here. And from top, this looks like it's actually hanging. From the bottom, you can see that it's filled in, of course. But they did a good job with the sculpt where I don't really notice that. And it's not very thick either, which is good. Again, the hair looks good. I think they probably paid special attention there. She also has her ear showing up right here. And I really like seeing that. And it's a great attention to detail. And it looks like it turned out great as well. In fact, even where the hair meets there, I think it looks good. Minimal mold lines on this one, too. It's actually not too bad. This is, I think, the best one I've looked at so far. And a little bit more attached, too, as you can see. A little bit more solid. She looks great. I think these will paint up really, really nice. Next is Snow White. Here is Snow White. The apple looks fantastic. Really, really nice. And I think that'll show up really great when you paint it. This is actually cool. I really like this one. Very dynamic sculpt. This matches the art, I think, quite well. Again, the hair came out great. The facial features here look fantastic. Eyebrows, nice nose ridge. Chin is defined. Her neck is defined. Forehead looks good. Like this all looks good. And then the detail on her dress and on this like cloak thing all the way around look great. Again, a little bit of cleanup here, but overall not too bad. And in fact, you can even peek a little foot there that they included in there. They didn't just like assume it wouldn't be there. It looks like there's a nasty mold on in this one, and maybe she could have been pushed in a little bit more. If you want to help painting that, normally how they glue them in is they actually use super glue, so you can put it in the freeze. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's why it's not in all the way. I can almost break her off right now. It looks like they almost forgot to glue that part down. Anyway, to fix this, because it is attached to that part, I want to stick her in the freezer overnight, and then the next morning or around lunch or whatever, just give it a few hours, really. Just get it cold. What happens is it doesn't affect the plastic at all. The plastic doesn't care about it being in the freezer, like, almost whatsoever. But the super glue becomes very brittle. And so what happens is you can snap them off the base, and then all that breaks is the super glue. You can scrape it up, and the mini is fully intact, perfect order. It works about 95% of the time. It depends on the glue they use, but more often than not, it's some kind of form of super glue that'll turn brittle when it's really cold like that. So you can snap them off. You can re-glue them on if you need to fix something like that, or even different parts of a mini on. I've fixed that before too. But it also helps with painting, so you can paint in there maybe a little bit easier if you're concerned about that. Her arm going up here was what looks like maybe a snake wrapped around. Looks interesting. Just overall, very, very cool. Now, one thing I'm noticing on her skin here is what almost looks like layer lines. Do you guys see that? Maybe I'm going to go real close here. Maybe you can see that. Do you see the reflection on her skin there? It looks almost like layer lines. And I can actually, do you hear that? Like, so if you can hear that, that's supposed to be smooth skin. Which almost makes it seem like she was 3D printed. Not injection molded. At least, that's, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I don't see any postmarks or anything like that, so I don't think so. But the layer lines confuse me unless it wasn't tooled very nice. I'll have to see how that's painted up. I'll have to ask some of my patrons. They've already started painting it. Maybe I can have them take a look at that as well. I'm going to keep a lookout for that. See if we see that anywhere else. Here is Red Riding Hood. Love this mini. Super cool. I love, again, that she's off the base like that. She's got like freaking a huge, ridiculous gun. This is the kind of world where... Oh, let me focus on that. Come on back. There we are. I got confused. I love this model. Here's Red Riding Hood, like I said. It's a ridiculous, crazy world, and I really dig it. She's got this humongous gun, and she's all bionic. She's got like freaking jet boots that she's shooting up on. I love the furrow of the like short cloak, by the way, reacting to that. I think it looks awesome. I love the cloak around her. Again, the hairstyle looks great. The mechanical parts seem quite nice. A little bit of a mold line here. That's the kind of part of the course here. Again, here as well. A little bit more mold lines than I would like. But I think once you clean it up, this is going to paint up great. Again, these ripples look good. They're going to take a highlight well, a wash well. It's going to look wonderful. This is going to be the worst part to clean up, though. That mold line right there in this like super texture there, really rough. And again, I think overall, the mini would have been better if they would have been able to sculpt the base so that there would have been like smoke billowing out, as opposed to a flat base with it just kind of placed here in the middle. Makes it almost seem a little bit awkward. It would have been so great to see it kind of billowing out with the smoke moving stuff out or something like that. Would have looked awesome on a mini like this. So in the future, I'd like to see these bases done. I just think it would do so much, because you're already doing, I think, a lot here, which is great. Okay, here's Match Girl. I never noticed what she's sitting on. So that is exactly what you see in the card, which is interesting. Love the roller skates. I think that's great. That's a super cool thing. Boxes are randomly falling. The hair, again, I think looks quite nice. The face, it looks kind of funny to me, but it is well defined. So it'll be interesting to see how it paints. I think is a big thing there. The match that she's holding, it doesn't really look like much to me. I think she's holding matches. I don't even know. I don't know. Should I check here? Okay, here's her art. Yeah, so she should be holding a match there, but I don't really see the smoke. I guess that's the problem there. But, whatever. I do like the skates, so that's cool, especially on the weird demon thing. That's so unique, so interesting. And again, I feel it would have been better had it not been on a flat base. One thing I do notice that's missing is in the art, you see that, first of all, they're like loosely tied on her, but then you have these like chains like falling down. And then here, obviously, there's no chains at all. And these are, tightly onto there. So not quite as, exact on the art as I would have liked, but still, I think, quite good. This detail here came out wonderful. You can hear that. Really good detail there. Actually looks really nice. And the rock texture looks good, too. Really dig that as well. That's a cool one. And again, sitting character. I like the sitting minis. You guys know that. Here's Mulan. She's got her kind of whip thing going here and then going here. And she's got her sword out here. Very interesting. I don't know if this is what I anticipated her style of being, but this is what she ended up with, huh? I guess that's her her art here. I'm gonna take these standees out just to show you. So there's the art. Here she has the blade there, and no, this is almost exact. So this is kind of her it looks like it's not really the whip. It's this like red tube thing that maybe powers it, and the whip is something that this perhaps turns into. This is like energy by the looks of it. But either way, she's really cool because she's like, whacking people back and forth. You know that scene where the Hulk gets Loki, just moves them back and forth? That's pretty much what she does. The assembly here shows a little bit of a line here, and I don't think it's actually the assembly. I think it's just the cut. But that's probably the biggest gap I've seen, which actually is worth pointing out. This has, first of all, this is really nice on there too. It's nice and sturdy right there. So that's a really good connection. There has been assembly, right? There's assembly there. There's assembly in all these parts, but this is really the first one I feel I really need to fix. This one I'd fill out too, just because I don't think that's bionic. If that was a robot leg, maybe, but it's not. Otherwise, let's see. The satchel looks kind of interesting. Let's see, what is this supposed to look like? That's too dark. Like a dark red thing. Let's see. They always do great on the hair. I love, by the way, how it even looks cut. Like, I just really dig the hairstyle there. I think that's awesome. She looks muscular, which I think is fitting, and again matches the art. This like armor here looks really cool. And again, a very interesting pose that she's reaching out, she's moving over here. Multiple parts were needed for this. It's not some flat mini where you look on and it's just like this, right? With one arm out that way, one arm out that way, looking at you. Come on. This is actually a lot pricier to do a model dynamic like this, and I just want to make sure I appreciate that. It does look very, very cool. Okay, next up is Alice. Here's Alice with her cat. Love how big the cat is, and love that they included it on the base. Oh gosh, come on now. Okay, here's Alice. Love how big they kept the cat, and love that they included them on the base. There's a lot of spilling over. I think her hand is slightly off the base, and then of course his tail's off the base as well. I love how high this goes. Again, I think that's also really, really cool. Like she's kind of reaching up, and you can even see she's on like these really high, high heels too. So she's a little bit taller, I think, than maybe some of them as well. I get a good sense of height on this one. The texture on her like dress here is very detailed, almost too detailed. Like, I don't even know how I want to paint that. My goodness, very detailed. The fingers, again, a lot of cleanup is needed here. Gets a little rough there, but they are separate. I do appreciate that. Just take your time cleaning it up. That is for sure. You're going to need to take some time on that. Facial features look good. I dig that. She's one of those, again, it's because these skinny legs were really wobbly there. It would be cool if one of you guys, maybe if you're up for it and you paint it this way, be sure to share it with me. To put like a clock behind her, like an actual kind of standing piece, and it looks super cool if there was something behind her that, it looked like the clock tower, right? I think that'd be really neat. But again, I love the difference between the two as well. She's got this blue and gold, he's kind of like this goldish kind of color there, and it's also just really neat. And I love, again, the pose, the hair back like that, this lifting up. Look at how it's not flat, it goes all the way up like that, which is fantastic, and that's because you can see in there. A lot of companies, again, looking at you, come on, and many others, they'll make this flat, right? We'll just cut off there, and you'll see some of the flatness there because it's just cheaper. It's more expensive to do this because it's a separate part. This is all assembly here to kind of put this all together, but it's done really, really well. Quite impressive, actually. There's assembly on the cat as well, because again, you have all this negative space, but because it's a robot and they put it in smart spaces, you don't have to do anything about it. This is one of the most competently made minis of the bunch, I think. This is quite well done. Again, those fingers are really rough. I do wish that wasn't the case. I think she has gloves on. No, I don't think she does, actually. It just almost looks like it, my goodness. Yeah, those fingers are a little rough, but that's about it. Now, it looks like these fingers are better. These fingers, actually, this is probably the best hand in the whole game. Look at that. Again, I do appreciate that. You don't walk around like this with mitten hands where you have a thumb and then 4 fingers that are all connected, or you got them cupped and you don't reach out like that, right? And so it's really nice to see fingers separated in a more natural way. It's something you don't necessarily like notice right away, but your eyes interpret it, your brain interprets it as looking a little bit more realistic. Now I do see a separation here, and I don't know if that's a break of the mini or not. It almost looks like it, just based off of how rough it is, but I'm not sure. I think, I know, maybe I don't think. I can't quite tell if that's supposed to be separate or not. I don't know if the art will help me with it. I don't think it will. It looks, it's definitely separate in the art. You can see the little flap in the middle, which makes sense. But that's about it. Now, I've been painting Necrons lately, and they have all these like lines in them, and I can put an ink in there and it goes beautifully. Now, obviously, those are hips, and this is a PVC mini, and I shouldn't have the same expectations, and I don't. What I do hope is that I can still use the line. These lines are not going to really show a wash, or even really an ink, so I wouldn't go around assuming that they will. It does look like they will guide your brush, though, and what I mean by that is your brush will kind of naturally follow the line. If you've ever done like a guiding line in wood or something like that, and then try to cut it, it'll naturally guide the saw there, or the knife, or whatever it is you're using. Same kind of principle. It does look sufficiently like it'll do that. So I'm overall happy with that. They could be a bit thicker, perhaps, and maybe a bit deep, definitely deeper. They could be deeper. The assembly here is quite good. That one, you don't need to fill it up. You prime it, you paint it, it'll look just fine, just like that. This is like some kind of headpiece that she has. It's not a mold line. So that's just important to note here. I love the stuff in her hair. Her eyes look like they're closed, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think it is in the art. Either way, the face looks great. I've been impressed with that throughout all these models. There's only one left, by the way, and again, obviously the hair I think it looks nice too. I love the raggedness of the hair. Really appreciate that. And again, I appreciate how far this goes up so that it is separate. And this really adds a lot to it, I feel. All right, last one. Last one is Sleeping Beauty. They do not have 2 versions. They just have the one, which is okay. That kind of makes sense. It's definitely the upset version. She's got a knife here. So watch out there. It's not too thick. I appreciate that. All the straps and stuff look good. This stuff just looks great. You can see the assembly here. But again, I think primed and painted, this will look great. I don't really need to do a lot with it. It just looks like a crease. So very smartly done, and then well executed from the factory as well. The hair going up is really cool. I like the clasp here and kind of the straight jacket. I like how the flap is here as well, and her hands out. Her thumb is pretty clear, but then her fingers are definitely bunched up there and actually get a little weird right there too, I would say, which is kind of part of the course here. But face, looking at the facial features here, very determined, very serious. She's got eyebrows, she's got actual eyelids and eyeballs and nose with nostrils and cheek like muscles right here to kind of form the face. Again, you could tell they put a lot of effort into that. I'm really impressed with that. The clasps here where she was strapped into the bed look cool too. And she does have toes on her feet. Again, very, very cool. All right, guys, that's it. That's everything. This took a lot longer than I anticipated. It's because there's a lot of cool stuff. If you appreciated the unboxing, if you liked to see it, then be sure to leave a like. And if you want me to review the final version of the game, assuming there's any difference, or if you just want me to kind of touch on that, do let me know in the comments below. I've already reviewed the prototype, and it was pretty complete to my knowledge there, but there are a few new characters here and maybe some different rules. But that's it. All right, take care, guys. Thanks. Bye.